Okay, so good evening. Tonight we're playing MYFAROG once more, and this is the second part of our Twilight of the Gods campaign. If you watched the first session 2 weeks ago, you'll be familiar with what happened. So today, again, joined by the same players, and I have James, who's playing a young character called Owen. He has a brother called Eocho, and that's played by Anto. The two brothers have a father who lives somewhat outside of the village of Heapstones, where they're from, and his name is Buri, and he's of the Seder life stance. He's very anti-gods and anti-fennel. and his brother is a bard of Hadnush called Cynewulf. 2 weeks ago we were calling him Cynewulf, but I think we worked out it should be Cynewulf. So yeah, so the four players started off in Heapstones on a very muggy summer's evening. There was quite a lot going on there, lots of music and frolicking and whatnot. And the following day, they headed south past some bogland and marshes to find a shepherd who had been having some troubles as of late with some killing of his flock, and they agreed to help him. And that's pretty much where we finished the session, where they came across a group of 5 Yrchs, which are like small forest Ettins, which they managed to dispatch somewhat easily. But then they came across a larger version of a forest Ettin, which is more like an Ogre, and that resulted in quite an epic battle there. It seemed that the Ogre was gaining the upper hand as he managed to knock down the 2 younger Fulayans several times, but with the might of Buri's axe and Cynewulf's bow, they managed to slay this forest Ogre and save the remaining flock. The name of the shepherd is it's about a 50-year-old man. His name is Gan, and he should be fast asleep now, and with his wife Dresti, that's her name, Dresti, and they have 2 children as well in the house. So yeah, it's about 3 o'clock now. It's quite a clouded night. It's not cold at all. It's about 13 degrees Celsius. There's still a bit of a gentle breeze, and the scene presented before you is one of the corpses of these Yrchs and the larger one of the forest Ogre. So yeah, you've just managed to kill 6 Ettins now, and you were in combat for several rounds, in fact. So so you gained quite a good amount of experience for that. Just so anybody knows who's watching, the players will be able to level up the next day. It'll be Sunday morning, which will be very shortly. So I'm going to take it over to you guys now. Yeah, so over to you.
Cynewulf's going to put down his bow and rush over to his nephews, who seem quite injured. And I forget who was quite injured. I think it was.
I was cut pretty bad. Yeah, I have a light bleeding one, so I'm a little bit messed up.
So come here, lad, and I'm gonna open up my backpack and get some bandages out.
Nice. Okay. Is anybody able to assist you with the healing?
I have no healing talent at all. Buri has nothing, so he has willpower. I mean, +1 will, but nah.
You need to have at least half of the proficiency of Cynewulf to be able to help him. Otherwise, it would be useless. It'd be like trying to aid somebody in when they're giving surgery. You know, it'd be. Yeah. Okay. So, what about you, Eocho? Can you Do you have any healing proficiency?
No, I'm untrained.
Okay, so I guess it's over to Cynewulf, unless you want to go inside and maybe ask Gan or Dresty.
I'm going to do it myself.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I trust my uncle.
It's a character role.
Not so much my dad, but
All right. So,
untrained healing it. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the best.
yeah. All right. So yeah, give me 3d6.
Oh ho! 2 6s and a 5, and my +2.
Oh wow.
Excellent.
So what's that? 19.
Yep.
Yeah, you completely stop that bleeding. No trouble whatsoever. It actually takes you 14 rounds. So that will be a minute and 10 seconds to stop the bleeding as you're working around the wound. And yeah, you do an excellent job. And your nephew is grateful. He's starting to feel much better already.
I'll offer him my hand and pull him up and say, Hadnush is not going to clean you today.
oh, thank you so much, Cynewulf. I'm amazed at how quickly you were able to heal my wound.
Me too.
Perhaps I'm just a very strong healer, and I just have that warrior spirit.
Got good blood. Good blood.
Buri turns to Owen and he says, "Oh, you did well, lad. You did well. I'm proud of you."
Did you see when I killed that last the last little Ettin on my spear, and I was shaking him around?
Yes, I did, laddie. Perhaps your uncle will make a song about it.
For sure, for sure. This will be chronicled for all eternity.
So is the coast clear?
It seems to be. It's about 3 a.m. now. Pretty much silence apart from the flickering of the torch, which I think one of you still has. Yeah.
I'm going to go about the task of picking up my 16 arrows I shot, and I'm going to place some yew berries that I carry with me on the slain Ettins, and say this is a sacrifice to Hadnush.
Good. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, you might not have 16 dice, but if you give me 16 d6 and just tell me if you get any ones.
Okay. I've got 1 1 so far. 2 1s. Yep, 2 1s.
All right, so we're going to say that a couple of low shafts are completely splintered and broken upon hitting this large forest ogre, and they're beyond repair. Mm-hmm. So you're able to reuse 14 of those arrows, let's say.
Excellent. Can Buri, is it possible to harvest one of those hearts, Ettin hearts?
Yeah, you can try.
Yeah, can I do a skill roll for Buri?
Not easy. I think it's something like a DD 16 or something, because you have to know which is the right stone, which corresponds to the Ettins heart.
And it can be very bad if you mess it up, I think.
Can I hand him my pickaxe to use?
Yeah, well, okay. You'd have to give me a rune lore check, and you'd need to use something like a pickaxe. So you can try. I mean, give me a roll.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Because I can lend him the pickaxe I got out of the burial mound originally.
Yeah, I mean, if you wish, you can all try out with each corpse. I'm going to say, so you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, I'll give it a try. Can I use willpower? So that will be 4d6.
Oh, the power of will.
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that. Sure.
Excellent, and that's the 3 highest rolls. Is that right? 3 highest dice.
That's it. Yep. Choose the.
Okay.
Which skill are we testing for? Rune lore?
Oh, it's rune lore.
Okay.
Okay, I got 15.
Wow, that's perfect. Yeah, but you're able to find the right stone and remove it correctly which means without breaking it or spilling its power.
Excellent.
Very nice. Well done. You get a pretty nice amount of experience for that, actually.
Yes.
That takes you... it doesn't take you long, but amazingly, you're able to find the right stone, and it only takes you 10 seconds to remove it with this pickaxe, which your son has kindly lent you. So
I always told you, laddie, I knew where an Ettin was.
You're not gonna eat that, are you, Father?
Cursed no.
What is it a proof of the slaying?
Ettin hearts are very useful because they will glow if another Ettin comes nearby.
Oh, his eyes light up. And these bodies, they remained fleshy. They didn't transform or anything after they died. They just died, and the life left them.
yeah, they're still pretty much how they were when they died. Yeah. Yeah, you also find some auricalcum, ounces of auricalcum. So say when an Ettin is killed, the characters will find d6 multiplied by size of the Ettin killed ounces in auricalcum.
Excellent.
In their bodies?
So yeah, I think the Ettins only turn into stone when they are
Hit by sunlight.
Sunlight, exactly, and as it's still nighttime, it won't take you long to get the auricalcum. So they were right. So yeah, there were 5 small forest Ettins Yrchs. So let me roll now to see how much auricalcum you find. Okay, so you get 18 ounces of auricalcum.
Shall we divide this between us?
Auricalcum? Auricalcum is just a mineral that grows in the earth. Leave it there, I say. I'll have none of it.
Well, we can give your share to the shepherd and his wife.
Yeah, Buri does. Buri intends to do that. Yeah.
From the ogre which you managed to kill, you find 8 ounces.
I'm going to take that. I'll bend down and pull it out and say, this is brought to me by Hadnush, for he guided my arrow. I'm sure we can make good use of this.
Good. So, Fionn, did you remove the Ettin heart from one of the smaller ones or from the large one?
I was under the impression it was a large one.
Right, okay, that's good. That's fine. Now, yeah, at some stage, if you want, you can try to craft it into to make it into a pendant.
Oh yeah.
So you need to do that. You need a hammer and crafts skill.
Yeah, I might ask. I'm going to ask Gan for perhaps he has a hammer when we go inside.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, do any of you wish to try and remove the other Ettin hearts from this smaller?
I'm going to. I'll see my nephew's moving towards it, and can I roll to see how much I know about Ettins? I presume it'd be a fair bit because it's rune lore.
Yeah, well, I think we agreed last game that your character does know a fair bit already. But
so I'll say, whoa, halt. If you remove another one of these, then and we come within 1 yard of each other, they explode and will kill all of us.
Oh, maybe it's best to just harvest the largest one. I mean, will they decay with the bodies?
Yes.
Will they taint the earth if they stay here?
Yeah, I believe I think they explode when they are made into pendants.
Yeah, so it says they sap our stamina, except for when they're removed. But when they're removed, if another removed one comes near, they explode after 2d6 rounds, killing the wearer instantly and 3d6 heat damage to everyone within 20 feet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very nasty.
That's a lot.
Yeah. That's pretty much everyone's dead.
Yeah.
Well, how do we dispose of these other bodies without?
We can carry the Yrchs, can't we? They're about our size.
Yeah, actually, yeah, they're about similar size to you, to your characters. Yeah.
I say we carry these into the forest, so Garn does not have to deal with them on his land.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they came from, so we'll just return them there. If any others come, they'll have to pass by the bodies, and maybe that'll intimidate them. They'll think twice about stealing from this shepherd.
I like the way you think, Ogre.
Well, Uncle Cynewulf, you seem to know a lot about this. We have a few smaller ones and what looks like a larger one, which could be a sire. Do they breed like humans do? Would there be a mother someplace and a nest of children that we need to find?
I do not believe they breed. I believe they came down all at once. No one really knows for sure. It was like they were created from stone.
Yeah, why don't you give me a world law check, all of you?
Four.
No,
12.
8.
9 here.
Right, so Cynewulf is the only one who possesses this knowledge, and he knows that with the forest Ettins, actually, they do have queens who will drop a new Ettin every night. And they're sort of like big lumps of reeking stones that exist in deep in the forests, and there presumed to be several of these queens throughout Thule. So it's possible that you may be near to a nest where there is a queen indeed.
So you're saying our work isn't done here, Uncle?
He's shocked. We may have lost him. It looks like our adventure's just beginning, if that's the case.
I say we go back to the king first before we go fighting any more Ettins, lad.
That's sensible. He could send another group out better at tracking.
Maybe some dogs as well.
Could use a good night's rest. I'm winded from that fight.
Yes.
Yeah, seems we've lost David, but I'm sure he'll be back in any minute now. Mm-hmm. Right. So do you wish to drag the bodies of the Ettins back into the forest now?
Yeah, just off the land so they don't taint it when they decay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, even the small ones, the Yrchs, they weigh slightly more than you, so you'd be able to drag one each, fairly easily. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Yeah.
Do we have to make a fumble roll?
No, I'll allow you to do that.
Excellent.
Yeah, because you won't be moving quickly or anything. There's no dangerous terrain, so yeah, just kind of pasture land. So some rocks, but yeah. Do you want to? So you can drag the large one as well between you, I guess, because it weighs a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, together.
Cool. Okay. And so you're not going to try to remove any more hearts. So you've got the one large forest Ettin heart.
Yeah.
Would I be able to recover my javelins?
Yeah. How many did you throw?
There was 2 sticking in bodies, and then 1 I dropped while we were fighting on the ground.
Okay, well, give me 2d6.
A 6 and a 2.
Right. Yeah, both of those javelins are definitely reusable. So you're able to remove them from the bodies, and yeah, no problems.
Excellent.
Okay, so what do you wish to do next?
We should go in and wake up Gan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Buri knocks on the front door with the end of his axe.
Father,
Yeah.
don't you think you should knock maybe a little quieter? I mean, we should be respectful, right? And maybe you should wash your face before you greet him. You might scare him to death.
Maybe, yeah. I'll tell you what. Do a social skills. See if you can convince me to not bang the door loudly with my axe.
Only 4.
It's fine. Yeah.
Only 4.
4. Oh. Okay, so Buri picks up his axe and gives 4 extremely loud knocks at the door with his axe. Wake up, laddie! Wake up!
Yeah, and Gan he's fast asleep, but he hears this loud knocking, and he immediately gets up out of bed. He leaves his wife, who still seems to be asleep. She's kind of stirring in her sleep. His 2 daughters are still asleep, but yeah, Gan wakes up and he rushes over to the door. He's still like half asleep, and he opens the door and he sees you. What is it, laddie?
Oh, Owen, you tell him. I haven't the head for this right now.
So Owen very proudly steps forward in front of the group, and he says, "God, you should have seen it. We caught those responsible for killing off some of your flock, and you should have seen it. We were slaying them left and right, and then this huge one came, and then we were knocked to the ground, and I kept getting back up, and I got knocked to the ground again, and then Uncle bandaged me up, and I'm like trying to catch my breath, just spitting out this stuff."
Yeah, and he sees you really taken in by what's happening. He puts a hand on one of your shoulders. You've done me a fine thing today. A fine thing. What were the creatures? What were they?
And so I start explaining. Oh, they were huge and nasty, and they had these scary faces, and they were covered in all sorts of some moss and rock, and it looked like the mountain had come to life, and the forest was coming after us, and I'm just keep spitting out all this stuff.
They weren't Arbis.
No, Uncle Cynewulf is much more learned than us, and according to his lore, they were forest Ettins.
At this point, I'm going to come back inside after going off to play the harp for a little while. Sorry about that. My computer just turned off completely. It's been doing that. Yeah, weird. Anyway, I'm back. Sorry about that.
So, yeah, Gan is he's very pleased to hear that you managed to dispose of the foul creatures that were roaming and killing his sheep. And he invites the 4 of you into his homestead now. Please, come in, boys. Are you hungry? Are you thirsty?
Yes. Do you have any pork?
Pork. Aye, laddie, I have pork. So I do.
Excellent. I'll be having some of that, please.
the homestead, it's fairly simple dwelling. It's got a couple of large rooms, and mostly it's made some wooden beams on the top. And Gan rushes over to his larder and brings out some pork, which he has, and he begins to cut up some thick slices for you.
Excellent. And I believe that Buri has, was it 18 that we found altogether? 18 nuggets?
Yeah, 18 ounces.
Yeah, 18 ounces, okay. So that means we roughly have about 3.5 ounces each. And I give, maybe 4. I give my share of the orichalcum to Gan, the farmer, and I ask him for perhaps he has some sort of crafting hammer as well.
Yeah, you give him the orichalcum, and his eyes just widen, and orichalcum. So it is true that the Ettins do eat it.
Yes, it is, lad. And if you're careful with it, it might see you and your lass through for many years.
Hammer, you say? Aye, I have a hammer. And he goes off, brings you a hammer back straight away, in fact.
Excellent.
Buri, are you thinking about making more racket tonight while everyone's sleeping?
No, I'm quite done for today. Leave me in the corner and let me work in peace.
Don't blow us up. Do it away from the rest of us.
Yeah, it's just so that you know, 1 ounce of orichalcum has the same value as 10 ounces of silver. So it's, pretty valuable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you each have, 3.5 ounces now, is that correct?
Roughly. And I kept the orichalcum from the big guy as well.
Yeah, you got 8 from the large ogre.
Bud's got to eat.
Uncle, were you able to retrieve the arrow that slayed it?
Unfortunately, that one was shattered, but it ended a noble arrow.
Right, we can all hope to have an end like that.
If we're outside of earshot of Gan, maybe while we're eating or something, I would ask Cynewulf, kind of quietly, if we should alert him to the possibility of a queen Ettin somewhere, within walking distance of his property.
So that was I missed all that.
You told us that these Ettin are birthed from a queen Ettin who births one an evening.
Yes, I think we should let him know it is right near his property. We would not want to lull him into a false sense of security.
Yeah, and as the 4 of you are speaking to yourselves as quietly as possible, he's actually getting some more food for the 4 of you. He wants you all to be very well fed after doing such a good deed and gesture for him and his family. Yeah, and he comes out, he brings some milk, some cheese, bread, butter, and puts them down on the table for the 4 of you to eat. He leans into you, Cynewulf, and he says, why are you speaking so quietly?
We just talk of perhaps the possibility of a queen Ettin somewhere near your lands, and it is quite worrying, for she will birth. Is it one every day?
Yeah, I think it's one every night. Yeah. And,
one every night, and that could be disastrous for you and your flock and your family.
Yeah, and you see the features of his face, they almost turn to stone, like an Ettin would when it's hit by daylight, amongst the flickers of the candles on the table. and he looks almost as if he's like struck with grief upon hearing this. Queen Ettins? You mean there will be more?
If we do not put a stop to the Queen, there may be, and Hadnosh will have many a friend at his table.
And do you think the four of you would be able to find it and stop it?
I believe it is a possibility, as is everything in life.
I start almost choking on my food at the thought of having to go out right now because I'm, and I just, what, right now?
I believe we should rest before facing this. As much as I praise him, I do not wish to meet Hadnosh earlier than is necessary.
Right, and I was hoping the king would hear of my deeds before I go off on another adventure.
Would you not wish to add to those deeds before he hears of them?
And I'm sort of looking up, pondering this, like, well, I'll get back to eating again.
And if we find her during the day, we would have an advantage.
Indeed. My nephew is a smart one.
That you are, lad, that you are. So maybe we can rest for the night?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Gan wanders off again into this other room in dwelling and comes back with some blankets, some animal fur blankets, full of four of you. There's not much space, but it's better than sleeping outside.
Definitely.
I would like to rest. Kind of flexing my fingers, shooting that bow so many times is a bit tiring.
Okay, so you wish to rest now, to sleep, and we'll pass over to the next day, which is actually Sunday, so that's the day when you can level up if you've all amassed enough experience to do that.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Gan actually wakes up fairly early, as the four of you are still asleep in the other room. He goes outside to attend his flock. Now, the four of you wake up a little bit late, or later than expected. You wake up at about 9:30, 10 o'clock, so you get in about a good 6 hours rest.
I've never felt better. What about ye, lads?
I feel like brand new over here.
I feel like that time shooting that Ettin from afar has improved my ability to stay cloaked in shadows, thanks to Hadnosh.
And I thank you, Uncle. My wound is all healed. I feel ready to face the day. Thank you.
You're welcome, lad. I'm going to tune up my my lyre, strum a few chords, and start working on something to do with how brave my nephews were and my brother.
Excellent.
Well, Owen, all of that formation drilling really worked out for us.
I'm sorry, brother. What did you say? All that what worked out for?
All those formation drills that I made you do with me.
Oh, yeah. where would we be without that training? I feel like the only times when I really got hurt was when the formation was broken. So thank you for that.
You two held your own out there.
Brother, did you at any point despair and feel like perhaps we wouldn't make it out of there alive?
Well, didn't really cross my mind when I was getting my teeth knocked in by that thing. But I was more worried about, keeping shoulder to shoulder and making sure I didn't let you down.
Oh, well, you didn't, and I hope you know that. And even though Father might not say it, you didn't let him down either. So.
No, you did well, lads. I'll give you that.
This is new.
Well, where would we go about finding a queen?
I'm sure that large one would leave some very obvious tracks that we could follow.
It's a bit out of my wheelhouse, but it sounds like a start.
And from what you said, it sounds like we should go as soon as possible while we have the daylight. If we will have an advantage.
If Buri managed to craft that pendant last night, then that will give us a fair advantage. It should start glowing when we are close to the queen.
I didn't even think of that. That is going to be a really big help. You're right.
Did he? I think I missed that as well when I cut out.
No, he didn't. He hasn't started to make it yet. I don't think he wanted to make too much noise.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, he can do that now. I think John is away at the moment.
And can I add to? Is that a crafting thing, or is that to do with rune lore as well?
That'll be crafting. Yeah.
Okay.
So you need crafting and a hammer. Which, yeah, I think, yeah, you do have the hammer, which Gan has lent to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, which one of us wants to try craft this heart?
You're very handy with your hands, brother.
Yeah, okay, I'll give it a shot. Although I'm untrained.
I have training just to try.
we all do, except for. It seems like we all do, except for.
I am not a craftsman by any means. I made this lyre and this bow, but stones are beyond me.
Yeah, as it's a new day, you're able to use power of will again.
Oh, excellent.
By the way, this stone heart, it's brown, just so you know.
Excellent. How about Owen or Eocho? Do any of those have crafts as a trained skill?
I could do it. I have it as a trained skill.
Excellent. So yeah, Buri hands the heart to Owen and he says, "You work away, laddie. I don't have the hands for this."
And I'm very enthusiastic to do a good job for my dad. So just roll for crafts now?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you're going to go for it now, I mean, you could actually wait. It's up to you, and you might find somebody who's better at crafting.
So, Father, you want me to do this now, or do you think we should head out?
It's yours, Owen. I give it to you. Act with it in whatever way you wish.
If you fail, nephew, we can always cut the heart out of one of the smaller ones.
Okay, I'm gonna just try and get this done so we can leave. I'm gonna do it now. I got 11.
11. Yep, so you spend several minutes crafting the heart into a pendant, and you seem fairly pleased with your results. You don't know the true effects of what's happened yet, but yeah, you've made it into a pendant with the materials that you have. Is there anything else you wish to do with this Ettin heart pendant now?
Well, I want to hand it to Uncle and say, Uncle, you can use this as a sort of a guide for when we're getting close.
Indeed we can, but I believe you should wear it. Be sure to throw it if we see another man with such a pendant.
And so I just listen to what he says, and I have a necklace on, so if I can I attach it to the necklace that I have?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's what I want to do.
Good. James, why don't you give me a rune lore check now?
Okay. Zero.
Oh!
Right, so yeah, you put on this pendant, and you don't know why exactly, but you instantly feel that somehow you're somehow more invisible than before. That's what you have in your mind. It makes you seem to be able to hide better. That's your perception of this.
Okay, so I imagine that I'm trying to show it off to Father, and he's just looking in the other direction, and I get really sad. Like,
Does he's not looking more invisible to us, is he?
No, he's not. It's
oh, okay.
Not some Frodo stuff going on.
Okay, so more like I feel more like I could sneak around and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
That's what you believe. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Now in walks Dresty, Gan's wife, and she's got a jug of fresh milk from a milk cow that they have, and she offers some of the fresh milk to the four of you.
I drink heartily. For I do not drink alcohol, I drink only milk.
Yeah, I have some too. Very, very eagerly.
And Buri turns around and he says, "Ah, my fair maiden, milk is well and good, but everyone knows a mountain man can't spend all day walking without a bit of mead in his belly. Do you have any mead, lass?"
She why don't you give me a social skills check?
Yep. And that's a trained skill now, so I get plus. I'm 0 basically, 0 modifier. So. Okay. That is 6.
Yeah, she turns to you, and her face it's not quite one of disgust, but she looks sort of displeased with the way you're speaking to her by calling her fair maiden. She is, a good 10, 15 years older than you, and she just kind of scowls at you and says, "I do have mead, but it's not for the likes of you, I'm afraid."
And not even before midday.
Yes.
Fair enough, I meant no offense. And Buri kind of looks at the ground, slightly going a bit red in the face.
It's almost as if you've gained some skill at socializing, my brother.
Am I able to try to sneak him some? Like,
Some meat.
slip away and see if I can sneak some mead from a cupboard or something?
Yeah, well, I mean, you'd have to distract her, I guess, or maybe to get her to go outside.
I say, Father, why don't you show her the bodies that we dragged out to the woods?
Oh, yes. Why don't you come with me, woman? They're a sight to see, and I tell you no lie.
Okay, so you try and give me another social skill, see if you can convince her to go outside.
Him, right?
Yeah, is it Buri?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a 10.
Yeah, she looks at you for several seconds, and she nods. The four of you did a great thing by killing these Ettins. I would like to see what they are like. Please, do show me. Show me these Yrchs.
Okay, and so yeah, Buri takes her out to the forest line and shows her the stone carcass remains.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Good. So as you're doing that, you spend several minutes outside. Gan is still with his flock and the milk cow of the dogs. His daughters are with him as well. Back over to Owen.
So I just sort of sneakily tiptoe into the where there's some cupboards and things, and I'm looking around to see if I can find a little mead to put in my water skin, just to pass it along to my dad. I'm afraid he won't have the same energy to, same gusto if he doesn't have a drink. So.
Yeah, you actually find this. It's not quite a full-size barrel, so its capacity is probably about 60 liters, in fact, and you can actually open it if you wish and see what's inside.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, as you open it, immediately your nostrils are filled with this very sweet, strong-smelling mead, and it smells really, really good. It smells so good, like you feel like having some right now.
Let's see. I guess I dunk my water skin in to try to get some, and then I take a sip and laugh to myself a little bit, and then I the perfect crime, and then put the lid back on with some still in my water skin.
As you're doing that, can you? So whoever's in the house, give me a perception check.
What's that? 10.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a 14 here.
Yeah, so you, Eocho, as you see your brother just sneakily filling his water skin with mead, you hear some footsteps coming from outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna make the noise, Owen, get over here.
And in through the front door comes in one of Gan's daughters. It's this 11-year-old girl, long blonde hair down to her waist, and she sees you in the act, Owen, and her jaw just drops, and she says, "Father's mead."
I'm gonna show her the pendant, and I'm gonna say, this pendant that I'm wearing, this is the heart of one of the evil monsters that was killing your flock, and it needs a little mead every day wiped on it so that it doesn't explode and kill your entire family.
Nice.
At least that's what my uncle told me.
Yeah, what?
Oh man.
Give me an acting check.
Can I add to this? Because he's just brought me in on this.
Yeah, please do.
I say indeed and strum a chord. And what's this? Social skills?
Acting.
I got
Acting.
12.
Oh yeah.
12.
God. What do I add to it? I forget. I got 12 as well.
Yeah, I mean, she's 11. She's still quite gullible and a bit naive. And her eyes just widen as you tell this lie to her, and she completely buys it. Please take as much as you like. I'm sure Father would understand.
I'll say, no, it just needs a little bit. And, you don't need to mention this to anyone because I don't want to scare anyone else needlessly. So I'll be off then. And I left your father plenty. And we're going to go take care of all the other monsters in the forest so that you won't have any more problems. So, and I pat her on the head and take care.
Yeah, she gives you a wide smile, and you see her brilliant white teeth and her eyes kind of flash as you pat her on the head. And she goes running out of the door again towards her father. And that's just doing that, in fact. Yeah, Dresty and Buri are returning back to the farmstead.
And yeah, I walk in the door and I can see Owen looks quite flustered, and I turn to him and say, "Oh, did I miss much, lad? What happened?"
I just had to take care of the Ettin heart, and I had to take care of your heart too, and I'll tell you more later, okay?
No problem, lad. So, should we? Are we going to go try track this Ettin, queen?
If you wish, I mean, so you wish to say goodbye to Jan and his family?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Jan he's still with his sheep and with some of the ewes. Yeah, so there's quite a lot of lambs as it's still spring, late spring. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So we'll go looking for Gan then. He's probably a little bit away from the house.
Yeah, he's actually very nearby. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's in the vicinity.
Okay, yeah. Let's go and say our farewells to Gan.
Yeah, and as you do, Gan says, "Hey, ladies, would you like anything for your travels? I don't want you to leave empty-handed."
No, lad, I'm happy enough, but perhaps one of my young lads might want something.
Perhaps you'd like some meat?
Well, I won't say no.
Father, we should be going. When you start drinking it, we could be here all day. We have to start going.
Can we try another social skills?
Well, he actually puts his hand on Boris' shoulder, and he looked like a type who likes his meat.
He's a man after my own heart.
Don't mention hearts. Yeah, I'm gonna try to convince them to just we can go because I don't want to take any more meat.
Yeah, let's do a social skills check.
Okay. 12.
Yep, that's good enough to convince. Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
So yeah, I pull him by the arm and I say, "Father, trust me. We should get going now."
Well, we spent the morning sleeping, the second half of the morning tinkering on a amulet, and the rest of the morning showing the lady where the bodies are in the forest. It's going to be nighttime by the time we find this creature, and we'll lose our advantage.
You speak the truth, Eogan. What time is it right now, Eddie?
So we woke up at around 10.
Sorry, David, I missed that.
Oh, what time is it right now? Hello?
We may have lost him. Oh, he's here.
Can you hear us? Uh-oh. We've lost our Mythmaster.
Yeah, I was here about 10:30.
Okay. Maybe we can find her. They can't be too far away if they're striking at this farm regularly.
Yeah, did they all approach from the same direction?
I believe they did.
It certainly seemed that way.
Well, it gives us I suppose, a lead.
Let us just hope that that was the entirety of the Queen's brood and not just a small party.
And I hold the amulet sort of, and I say, "And this is going to help us find them."
We should depart immediately then.
And as the four of you are speaking now together, you actually see a man approaching. He's a full-legged man. He's carrying a staff. And as he approaches more, you can see it's a nobleman by the way he's dressed. He has a purple cloak. In fact, he has red hair and a red beard. And he approaches and he says to the four of you and to Gun, "Hail Odin."
Sailor.
What a fine day it is.
Indeed, and even the more fine for the exploits of the night. Do you know anything of the Ettin around these parts? For we slew 5 of them last night, including a great ogre.
And he looks quite impressed as you say that, and he smiles and says, "Well met. My name is Thomas."
Well met. I am Cynewulf, and this is my brother Buri and my nephews Owen and Eocho. Soon to be great warriors known throughout the land for their exploits and the battle last night.
And the four of you slew some Ettins.
Well, we have and I hold the amulet up. I'm like, if you don't believe us, I have the amulet right here. I have the heart right here.
Yeah, and he looks at the amulet and he inspects it. He says, "Seems you did a somewhat good job at crafting this, but I've seen better."
You've seen? You have experience with this?
Yes, in my travels, but I'm also from But if any like the four of you, but I am from the village of Beach. I suppose you've heard of it.
Indeed, indeed. What brings you around these parts, then?
Well, for many years now I've been travelling and documenting the species of Thule.
Ah, a very noble cause, a very noble cause.
And he reaches into his backpack, and it's not quite like a book, but it's a collection of scrolls, and he shows you some of the pictures he's been drawing of the creatures of Thule and the fauna and flora, etc. And he shows you some pictures of some arbies that he's drawn in the past, some weaklings and darklings.
Oh, hideous.
Have you seen such creatures in Thule before?
Is this what Gan thought we would be facing last night, Uncle?
I believe it was. It was in fact what I was hoping we would be facing, but nevertheless, we dispatched our enemies. Yes, I have seen. Can I assume that I've seen some RV in my travels?
Yeah, you would have done, yeah, and also Buri, but Eogan and Owen and Eocho haven't.
Yeah, and well, Buri, considering that the dialogue was started with a Hail Odin, Buri doesn't seem to have much interest. He's just staring over at the trees in the distance, eager to be away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's more taken in by Cynewulf, in fact. He recognizes him as a bard of Hadnush. For Thomas is also a bard, so you would recognize that.
Ah, a fellow bard. What is your main instrument?
Well, I play the flute, in fact.
Ah, I'm more of a lyreman myself.
May I see your lyre?
Oh, whip it out. Strum a nice chord.
Yeah, he takes out his flute as well.
Can we have a little jam session?
How about a morning song?
Yes. Do you know this one? And I'll start playing.
Okay, so he's going to listen to you playing the lyre. And
16 on lyre playing.
yeah, well, he's very impressed, and he tries to match your song with his flute, but he's not quite able to. And yeah, you think he's not quite as good a musician as he thinks he is.
Uncle, have you seen better flute players?
I have not. It is a tricky instrument. I never really mastered it myself. I think my moustache gets in the way of the embouchure.
He turns to you, Owen. Well, I've just learning to flute. In fact, it's not my first instrument. But here, let me show you these illustrations of the Arbis. And he shows you one of the Darklings.
As he's doing that, I sort of mutter under my breath, "Yeah, I'm new at making amulets too, but you know, you didn't have to embarrass me in front of my dad." And I look at the drawings, but I'm very fascinated by the drawings. Like, I'm just like holding the book up to my face as closely as possible.
It's your first time seeing this kind of creature, and they are incredibly vulgar and despicable creatures, and it seems that they're always ill.
Go
Would you
ahead.
happen to have a depiction of an ogre queen?
That I do not have. No.
Have you had any depictions of ogres or Yrchs at all?
Of Yrchs, indeed, and then he shows you one of the illustrations for you to see, and you can actually see it very accurately resembles what the four of you faced.
Among those drawings, is there any of like other like hearts and other amulets that maybe I could learn from or something?
Yeah, actually, he has drawn illustrations of Ettin hearts as well. So you do recognize the one that you have, an independent form. Mm-hmm.
Does it say? Can you tell me anything about this stone? I mean, does it say any notes there or anything?
Well, what I can tell you is that he who left the amulet dependent feels as if they can slip into the shadows much more easily than normal.
I'm remembering sneaking to get the mead, and I just sort of laughed to myself, like, "Oh."
Perhaps you're one who would become an Ettin heart hunter.
And I look at my father and his total disinterest in this whole subject or whatever. And I just sort of shake my head and, you know. But I wonder, Father, have you been hanging around a lot of Arby's? Is that where you learn some of your manners?
No, lad, it's not for want of Arby's. It's just I like keeping to myself. Ever since me and your mother fell out, and we all know the story about the fennel, I've just been keeping to myself and don't have much time for folks, that's all.
Well, I mean, we were about to set out to seek out a supposed queen in this area. If you wish to have one, a drawing of one for your scrolls, I mean, we might be able to find one today.
It may not be a still life drawing. We may have to depict it post-mortem.
Uncle's very cheery, very cheery about everything, as you can tell. So how about it? Do you want to join us or not?
He looks at you. Oh, and then says, well, no, I'm actually traveling to a village to the west of here called Linden. Perhaps
What
you've heard
brings
of
you?
it.
I have heard of it. What takes you down to Linden?
Well, I wish to meet the making of Linden. He seems to be having some issues with what I believe to be Ettins as well.
Most troubling.
Well, it is not far from here, but I can tell you, perhaps only 6 miles by foot.
I wonder if it is spawn of the same queen that we seek.
That is worth investigating, yes. Would you care to join me?
Do you have any tell of a queen nearby? We were just about to set out to seek her.
It is to my belief that if the queen is nearby, then she is perhaps near the village of Linden.
Indeed. What say you, nephews? What say you, Buri?
Well, that's a better lead than a vague direction, which we had before.
Why not? Follow him then.
Okay, so, yeah, do you wish to say goodbye to Gan?
Is he nearby while we're doing all this?
Gan is he's still like lurking around with his sheep and the dogs.
I'll go in very dramatically. Good garden, thank you for your hospitality, and thank you for the opportunity for us to send those foul Ettins to Hadnush.
Well, thank you, laddie. You're welcome here. Anytime you may need a roof and for your head. You've done many good deed.
Say farewell, and I'll pull my cloak and back out and bow to him.
I'm gonna. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
He lowers his head to you. Yeah.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna wave from the back because I don't want to get too close and him to smell the mead. So I'm just sort of waving in the back. Hi again. Thank you. We're off on another adventure.
He gives you a hearty wave.
And
okay, sorry.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's it. Buri begins to follow the rather mysterious man who's on his way.
Yeah. So if you wish to travel with him, he will lead you towards this village of Linden. It's an inland village, as you know, most of the settlements in Thule are by the coastline, but this one is more inland. It's not an actual one on the map, but anyway, yeah. So yeah, it would take you about a couple of hours to travel there, because it's about 6 miles away. You'd have to travel to pretty much directly to the west, slightly to the southwest. Yeah, it's basically all woodland and some hill land as well. Pretty easy going, actually, in fact. If you set off now, you'd probably get there by about 1 p.m. Is that what you wish to do?
Yes.
Yeah. Just to give you an idea of the weather, it's clouded, so it's no sunlight. It's very clouded. It's actually very warm. Temperatures picked up to about 24 degrees Celsius now, so you're feeling the heat. Especially you, Cynewulf.
Yes. I pull my hood back and roll up my sleeves. I'm going to look to Thomas to see how he's faring with the weather in his thick robes.
Yeah, Thomas is in a similar condition to you as well. He's feeling the heat, but he's not showing any signs of tiredness or anything. But if the four of you could now give me just a acrobatic check, traveling.
10.
11.
12.
Yeah, good. So then,
Here.
okay, yeah, so no accidents. Nobody puts their foot into a pothole or anything. Yeah, and just after 2 hours, getting on to about just after midday now, you do reach the village of Linden. As you come down from a hill down into a valley, you see a rather large-looking long house, long hall, I should say. It almost seems golden in colour, in fact. You see several other houses as well. There's a palace side as well, a couple of guards by it.
Ah, the splendid hall of Linden. It's been many a moon since I've been here.
And I want to hand the mead over to my father and just say, there's going to be a lot of people around, Dad, so you might need a drink before we go in.
Oh, here he is. Are you there, John? Well, Thomas turns to you, Cynewulf. So you've been here before, is that right?
Ah, many moons ago, yes.
So perhaps you know the making.
If I recall, do I know him?
I heard he's quite an old man now.
Yes, well, he was old when I was here, so.
Oh, welcome back, Fionn. So, Owen has just offered you some meat, I believe, is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I handed it to him and I said, "Father, there's going to be a lot of people around. I know you like to keep to yourself, so I got you some mead. You know, I didn't think it was right that the lady of the house didn't offer you some, so I got you some."
Blessings of the mountain on you, laddie. I'll be taking that, thank you. And Buri takes the water skin and takes a fine swig.
Okay, good. Yeah, so you drink some of the mead as you're walking down this gentle hill towards the valley where you see the village of Linden. And we've lost somebody else.
It's a curse.
You can see out of the makings long hall and about 20 houses as well. It's not a terribly large village. Seems like these people, obviously, they prefer to live more inland than by the coast. Even from where you are, you can see there are several people gathered around the what seems to be like the village square or whatever, something similar. They seem to be all talking. Most of them are nobles, a couple of freemen there, and a couple of guards by the palisade as well, which is wooden. Seems that they've noticed 5 of you.
Oh.
Hail Hadnush and sail Hadnush.
Hail, Oxale, friends. What brings you here?
We hear tell of minor chord Ettins around here.
Yes. Then you've heard correctly, friend. He looks at you and he sees you're a bard of Hadnush. Slightly lowers bows as well to you. Recognizes you're a man of somewhat importance in Thule. Does the same to Thomas as well. But he doesn't do the same to Buri or his 2 sons.
Seeing this, I'm going to say, these are my 2 nephews and my brother, and just last night they slew 3 Ettins and an Ogre.
And he looks at the 2 sons. His eyebrow goes up, raises.
So, yeah, I'm just going to show the heart and say, why do I have to keep doing this? Here's the heart. If you don't believe me, here is the heart.
Yeah, and he smiles to him. It seems that last night had made you into a man.
Yeah, and I puff out my chest and look at my dad, like, see if he's proud.
And Buri just takes another swig of mead. He's quite uncomfortable actually in a new town. He doesn't like populations much at all, so he's in a new place, and they were greeted with a very Osatru greeting, and he feels a little bit uncomfortable. So he tries to quietly take another swig of his mead, and he keeps his eyes down.
Yeah, this guard who's in his early 40s, you'd say, he's got shoulder length, blonde, grey hair. Got a couple of scars on his face. He looks like somebody who commands some respect. He seems like he's a man who's been in battle for some time. He turns to you, Buri. We also have other guests here today, but not from the region of Prithenio. Seems we have friends from Iruria. Perhaps you could meet them.
Well, that certainly sounds interesting. Maybe I shall.
And he nods to you. He signals to the other guard, who is his junior, to open the palisade gate, and he does. Go forth, friends.
We thank you. Good day and good tidings.
The same I say to you. Perhaps we shall see each other later in the evening. All right, so and as the five of you walking now, obviously with Thomas, yeah, you can see there are several men around the center of the village, and they seem to be talking. There's the May-King. He's joined by the May-Queen. Now, the May-King, seems to be in his early to mid-50s. The May-Queen is several years younger. She's quite a striking figure of a woman. And the May-King seems to be speaking to 3 men who are not from the village. The 3 men from Illuria. And as the 3 of you approach, you can hear that the May-King is telling them of the grave things that happen during the night in Linden every single night.
And the things he's describing sound familiar to the types of things that Buri told us when he came into our village?
Yes, quite similar in fact. And he stops speaking as he sees the 5 of you approach. He looks particularly at the older men. He looks at Buri and Cynewulf, also to Thomas. Hello, friends. What brings you here?
Well, we bring some grave news. Just about 6 miles from here, there's a farmer whose sheep have been plagued by Ettins and Yrchs for the past weeks. Last night, me and my fellow sons and brother, we slayed about 5 of them, including a big ogre. And, well, we thought you should be knowing because it seems there's dark times upon us all here.
Aye, Gan sheep shepherd. I know him. He had trouble with his sheep, you say?
Yes, the Ogres killed, or the Ettins killed at least half his flock. And, well, I gave him some aurichalcum, and he will recover his flock in time. And however, at the moment, he's quite he's quite happy that we've rid his land of this menace. However, we thought you should know.
Then you have done a noble thing. He turns to Cynewulf, and he sighs. I also have problems with the Ettins here in Linden.
So we've heard. We thought perhaps the Queen was around these parts.
Aye, that's what I believe as well. Every night, an Ettin comes to my village, to Linden, and he enters my longhouse. I cannot sleep there, for whoever sleeps in the longhouse, this Ettin slays. I've grown used to giving an offering every night to keep the Ettin day. This Ettin, his name is Grinda.
What say you? I could have sworn, Cynewulf, that You had a song about such an ogre.
Indeed, they must follow a certain pattern. They do have a thing for shiny holes.
Maybe we should investigate it. Maybe there's something to all this.
Then the making turns back to you, Buri. You may think it's strange that we give a name to an Ettin, but it's been coming here for so long. And some say he has a brother, Gorgronda. But it seems that the two never come at the same time. One night Grinder comes, the next night Gronda comes. It seems they never come together. But they seem attracted to my long golden hall. And I cannot sleep there. What kind of a king does that make me, that I cannot sleep in my own house?
This sounds like a powerful Ettin, a prowler through the dark. Perhaps he nurses some grievance towards you.
Well, our father doesn't sleep in his own house either, so we still think highly of him. So.
We believe in part Ettin. I laugh.
Well, I suppose there's nothing for it. I have the mead. If by your leave, we stay in the long hall tonight and perhaps we can see what's going on.
And as you say that, one of the three members, the three other men who are not from here, actually from Arubia, one of them comes towards you. He's a big, heavy, sturdy man, about 24 years old. He's carrying a very long winged spear. And he speaks to you, but he looks down at you. We will be staying in the longhouse tonight, not you. We shall take the glory.
Oh, well, if you want to get yourself stuck like a pig and roasted on a spit, that's your business.
We spoke to the May King earlier, and he offered us rewards. Now I shall claim the rewards, not you.
But are you here for rewards or glory? I am confused. A good warrior should be out for nothing but the experience.
I will take both if I can have them.
Well, speaking
I
of
will
it,
have you, Bard of Hadnush, make a song about me when I kill this Ettin.
Or if he kills you, for Hadnush may claim either.
Buri turns to Cynewulf and he says, do you remember what I told you a few days ago about Fennel making a man all sentimental?
I do.
Now, this is living proof of it.
This man, he looks a little bit confused when you say Fennel, and one of his friends comes forward. He's actually weaponless, but he's carrying some. He's actually wearing some rather powerful-looking gloves. And he looks you in the eye, Buri. And he says to you, "What kind of a man are you? You seem like a Worcester. A Worcester who lives in the mountains."
Well, that I am, lad, and happy for it too. I don't need the vanity of warriors or big heads gloating about killing this or that monster for reward. Anything I do and my kin is for experience.
And then he looks at Eocho and Owen. And what are your names?
I'm Owen, and speaking of experience, have you ever even killed an Ettin before?
Yes, of course. But only the small ones, only the Yrchs.
Yeah.
And at that, I'm going to start playing softly and whisper to Owen, show him the pendant.
Bam! So I show him the pendant and I say, and this is my brother Eocho, and we slew many of the smaller ones, but the real test of a man is to bring down one of the large ones, the ogres, and that's what we have here. Proof of that. This should be enough for the May King to let us handle this.
And I'll say, and you carry no weapons, and you would wish to go fist to fist with an ogre? We've taken the ogre's fists, and we still stand.
I fight with my hands, and I wrestle. I can beat any of you in a wrestling match. That is for sure.
We're not ogres, friend.
No, but I will take the glory, not you.
We shall see who takes the glory, and we shall see who Hadnush takes.
And when you say that, then the final member of this group comes up. He's about 23 years old. He's a very strong-looking man. Long, dark brown hair, light brown eyes. Hail. He seems a bit more friendly towards you, in fact, compared to the other two. Hail. Tell me your names.
I am Cynewulf, Bard of Hadnush.
Cynewulf.
I am Buri. I love the mountains. I don't have much time for this village life.
And where do you hail from? What is the name of your village?
We hail from King Readiness's parts.
Aha, yes.
Yes. Well, we've traveled long and hard to be here, and if you have a problem with us, you better let us know now, because it's going to be us that stays in the long haul tonight.
The May King interrupts the two groups. He says, I don't mind who kills Glinda or Gronda, but to the man who does it, I shall reward most handsomely. But if you do it together, then you get little.
Ah, this shall be a good test of mettle and worth. May the best man win, I say kind of sycophantly to the king.
The large man with the spear walks up to you, and he grips his spear very firmly. My name is Ashwood. I shall be the one who is in the hall tonight.
Words are cheap. Deeds is what we are looking for.
And Buri laughs loud and claps his brother on the back. Aha, lad, you said it now, you said it now.
It would not be a competition were we not all in the hall. Would you run a race with only you at the starting line?
He kind of scoffs in mockery at you and laughter. Is there any man here who thinks that he will be going into the long haul tonight instead of me? And if so, say so now.
I thought we all would, or are you afraid of competition?
I seek the glory of killing the Ettin by myself.
Why not the glory of killing the Ettin instead of all of us? You can protect us mere simple folk.
I wish for you, Bard of Hadnush, to make a song about me. And when you go back to your home, you should speak of the glory of Ashwood.
To make a song, I would like to witness the event with my own 2 eyes. And my nephews here, they scribe for me and my brother. We're collecting stories, as is our friend Thomas here. He has a book of the creatures and the flora of Thule, and he would love to chronicle this in real time, as it were.
And Thomas looks at you. Well, yes, that's quite right. Yes.
So what say you? Would you allow a humble bard and his chroniclers to witness the greatness of your mighty spear?
Yeah, we'll do a social skills check. If you can convince him.
40.
He looks at you sternly. No, friend. What you will witness the morning afterwards is the rotten corpse of the Ettin.
Fair enough, fair enough. Let us not trouble you anymore. I'm sure you have much preparation. Perhaps shining your spear.
Okay, so this Ashwood, this giant man, he seems confident that he will be the only one going into the makings hall tonight. The making says to all of you, well, friends, tonight you shall dine with me. But when the night comes, we must leave my hall. Is that understood?
Indeed, my king, indeed.
And good. If you wish to do anything now in the village, then you are welcome to stay here. I will give you food, I give you drink, and I give you hospitality.
Thank you, King. Is there perhaps any yew trees that grow nearby?
What? It's only to the west of here. You'll find a small grove of yew trees.
I would like to commune with Hadnosh and perhaps compose a song for the brave warrior who is to slay this horrid Ettin.
Okay, good. It's still fairly early in the day. It's about 2 p.m. What do the 5 of you wish to do now?
I'm puzzled by these warriors' behavior. I've never heard of a warrior who doesn't trust his formation brothers. I'm also puzzled by these 2 Ettin brothers who seem to show up without the other one present. But if they kill everyone in the longhouse, how do they know it's a different Ettin every time?
I never thought about it like that.
I'm just mulling these over in my head and maybe talking amongst you about it. Not while those warriors are within earshot.
I'm going to skulk off towards the yew grove by myself.
And can we tell which god, which favorite deity is here?
Sorry, James, could you repeat, please?
So whether I have to roll for it or if we can just ask somebody, who's the favorite deity in this town, this village?
I'll tell you.
Oh, okay.
Now, yeah, 1 second. I believe it is Voltanash.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
And can Buri do maybe a perception check to see if he, or world lore even, to see if he can understand whether these men are Osatru or Seder?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You.
Excellent. Oh, it's not great. It's a 7. Not good.
7. Yeah, well, it seems that one of them is Seda, and the other 2 are also the one with the big spear and the one with the gloves. They are both also.
Okay. And could I turn to the one who seems to be more sailor than the others?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say to him, and what about you, lad? You seem like the sort that doesn't have much time for all of this. What say you? Do you believe in the spirits? Do you believe that man has much more of a hand in things than the gods would allow us to believe? That the gods would allow these Osatru to believe?
He turns to you and smiles. Of course. I follow the old ways, the traditional ways.
Good man. I knew there was at least one of you with a bit of sense.
It is always good to find others who believe in the old ways.
That it is.
And then he kind of whispers to you, and the 2 boys, are they your sons?
Yes, they are, and turning into mighty fine men too. Why, you should have seen them the other night. We slayed about 5 Yrchs and a forest ogre as well, and they've done me proud.
But did they follow our ways, or did they follow the gods?
I think the hustle and bustle of everyday village life has gotten to them, and they are fond of the gods, but they're still my sons, and they don't eat fennel anymore, so I'm quite proud of them.
That is good. That is good.
And so are we going to, is the feast beginning shortly, or?
Yeah, I mean, unless there's anything you in particular which you wish to do beforehand, then everybody will just wait until the late afternoon, evening time.
So beforehand, while I'm in the yew grove, I would like to refill my pouch that has the yew twigs and sprigs and yew berries.
Absolutely, you can do that, no problem whatsoever. Yeah, you can find some yew berries and plenty of twigs as well.
Okay.
For my pendant, am I able to learn from the book, or am I able to find somebody in town, like a craftsperson, that could help me improve it a little bit?
There is one person in the village who seems to be a craftsman. He's got it's like a blacksmith. So you could go and see him. Yeah.
Yeah, I've felt a little self-conscious about it since that guy said something. So I want to go, see if I could maybe spruce it up a little bit.
And as you do, you can see this man in his 50s. He's busy hammering away at what seems to be a long sword that he's making. He hasn't heard your approach as he's busy away hammering by the anvil.
So I'm going to walk up and yell, "Hail, skilled craftsman! May I ask you a question when you have a moment?"
First of all, he ignores what you're saying. He bashes the blade a few more times with his hammer, then he looks up at you. What is it, lad? What can I do for you?
I'm gonna show him take the pendant off my neck and hold it and say, "This got damaged in a very ferocious battle recently, and I was hoping if you could improve it a little bit, and because that's why it looks a little shoddy right now. Restore it to its former glory, maybe."
Are you going to hand the pendant to him?
I'm gonna be holding it the whole time until I
Yeah.
talk to him more. Yeah.
He looks at it and he scowls. You can see this expression on his face. Did you craft this yourself?
And then I get red in the face, and I just say, I know I came to the right person because you saw right through that.
He sighs and he says, so many people start with the difficult things in life. You should start with the basics, lad. Improve your craft. And then, and only then, try some things such as this. Now, yes, no, I can improve it for you. But it would come at a cost, of course.
Of course. How much would it be?
Why don't you give me a social skills roll?
Okay. $11, $14, $12, $13.
13. Now, if you have, let's say, 5 ounces of silver, what say you?
So I'm holding the pendant, and I look at him and I smile and I say, "Your wise words that you said before, and for that much, it seems like I've found the right person. So that sounds good to me."
Good. So he will agree to do that, and he will say to you, "Come back later, and I will have it done for you."
And then I'll say, but sir, as you just said, I do need to improve my craft. May I just watch you work on it?
Well, laddie, as you can see, I'm rather busy with this longsword. I have to finish this job first. I'm sure you'd understand that.
And being my gullible self, I say, yes, I perfectly understand. I'll be back later.
Jolly good. Come back in a few hours, perhaps.
All right. Is there anyone else around?
I would want with you.
Yeah, well, your brother is with you, yeah, same.
Okay. So I go over to him and I say, Eocho, he's gonna make the pendant really nice. What do you think? He gave me a pretty good deal too, huh?
I suppose. I mean, if he was a dishonest man, he wouldn't be in business for very long, would he?
Well said. And after hearing what he said, I wish Father didn't push me to craft this for him. What was he thinking, telling me to work with such materials without even, practicing beforehand?
Well, you proved yourself.
That's true. Thank you. All right. So, do you want to join the others? Do you want to work on more formations? I mean, I think we probably learned a thing or two after yesterday, right?
That formations work, yeah. We need to drill formations before this evening.
All right, and then I guess we'll head off then.
Yeah, and as you do that, as you walk away, this blacksmith is still busy away, hammering at the longsword. Now it passes into the early evening, and the making gathers all of you to go into his long hall. Into the long hall, and as you enter, so there are many torches lit on the walls, the benches, and he invites all of you to take a seat.
As we're walking in, I'm going to slide up to my brother and say, "Brother, I have a plan. Just, even though it may seem strange, follow my lead during dinner."
Fair enough, and I have a plan too. I've just remembered something. I actually have some turpentine in my backpack. I think it might be useful to us.
I was thinking the same thing with my berries.
Yeah.
Devious brothers.
Yes. Yeah, so I actually, Buri has, I believe it's a pound of turpentine in his backpack. And is there any way that we could sort of discreetly apply this to ourselves in order to give us that stealth mod in relation to Ettins?
That's not what I was thinking of, but yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you could, yeah.
Yeah, it's just we might as well take every advantage we can.
And I'll whisper to my brother, when I wink at you, can you please conjure up one of your signature disruptions at the dinner table?
Aye, fair enough, lad. I think I have something rather applicable for the evening at hand.
Good.
Yeah, good. And some of the guests, they take their seats at the by the benches. Some frowls bring out trays with food. There's also some ale as well. So if you wish to have ale, you can drink ale. But yeah, there's plenty of food, it seems. Meat, pork, yeah, chicken as well. Lots of bread and cheese and even some fruit. So it's a fairly good feast.
Is Ashwood drinking ale from a...
Ashwood is drinking ale. Yeah, he's drinking from a horn at the moment. He's speaking to his friend, the one who's wearing the gloves. He's actually taking the gloves off now.
I'm going to wait until it's a little bit into the dinner, and I'm going to say, I must excuse myself. I have to relieve myself, and I'm going to wink at my brother.
And Buri's not quite sure what's happening, but he follows along, and he actually stands up on the table in the middle of the long hall, and he claps his axe down 3 or 4 times, like boom, boom, boom. All right, lads, listen up. It's time for a sing-along. I need you all to sing along with me. We're going to have a fine song to raise the morale for later.
And as he's doing that, I'm presuming Ashwood and his friends are rightly distracted by this.
Oh, absolutely. If I am.
I'm walking up behind them to, go to the bathroom, and I'm going to drop. I've squished up some berries in my hand. I'm going to just plop some in their drinking containers. Not enough to kill them, because I know the yew tree very well. Just like one crushed up berry with the seeds is enough to upset the stomach very badly.
Excellent. Yeah. So I'm gonna be a stealth check, I believe.
This is why I took training in it.
Yep. So that's very good. Yeah. Try that, and I'll roll a counter for perception as well.
Hey, what is that? 12, 34, 15. What's stealth again? Dexterity. 16 then.
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you beat me by 1. Yeah. So that's
Ooh.
very close. Very, very close. Yeah. Well, he does see you, but he doesn't see you dropping the yew berry into the drinking hole. But he seems quite perplexed by your presence all of a sudden, and it seems like you're up to no good. But yeah, you're successful. Yeah.
I'll clap him on the back and say, I cannot wait to sing of your great triumph this evening.
Yeah. And Buri starts to sing a song sort of to the effect of, hail the glory of Ashwood. Everyone in the village will forever remember his renown on this night and how he acted so valiantly.
And the maidens shall sing of your spear prowess.
He raises up his horn in triumph. I wasn't sure about you earlier, friend, but now I can call you friend. For if you sing a song about the great Ashwood, the one who shall kill Grinder, Then yes, that is good.
Yeah. And I stand up and I add to it and I say, and yes, his spear is winged because he will fly right through his enemies, and like I add to the song.
We'll perhaps make a bard of you yet, nephew. And I'm going to exit out and relieve myself. May as well while I'm out there.
You can see some of the other warriors from the tribe of Linden. They seem quite lifted by Ashwood and his presence, and they seem fairly confident that he's going to be the one to kill this Ettin. So yeah, so Cynewulf, you go outside to relieve yourself. Yeah, good.
I had too much milk.
And Buri tries to keep the song alive. He's actually having quite a good time now that he sees what's happened. As far as he's concerned, the night is going rather as planned.
Good. Yeah, and then the May Queen actually comes over to Ashwood. This quite striking woman in her late 30s. And she has a horn full of mead, and she hands it to Ashwood, and she says to him, "Drink this, noble warrior, for fate oft spareth him that fears her not." "Thank you, May Queen." He takes the horn in his great hand and drains it. "Most hospitable." And she takes the horn and walks back to join her making. And everybody is now feasting in the hall. There's quite a lot of talk and people talking about the Ettin, grinding around and what's going to happen tonight. And they all seem to be fairly confident that Ashwood is going to be the one to rid them of this Ettin curse. Then later, the May King stands up. He announces for everybody to leave, apart from Ashwood. Many of the members of the tribe, they begin to leave. They go to their houses. One of the guard who was with the younger of the two guards from before, he says to you that you do have dwellings for the night, and he's willing to show you to your dwellings now.
Am I able? Oh, go ahead.
Sons, brother, maybe it's best if we make way to our beddings. I have some turpentine here, I believe, that we should apply discreetly.
Indeed.
I need to see the blacksmith real quick, but I'll be right back. So don't use it all up.
Hurry, young nephew.
Are you planning to waylay this Ettin before it reaches the longhouse?
No. I'm just planning. I'm just planning to apply the turpentine because it has enough for 5 bodies here. I can see. So there's only 4 of us. It hides the human scent and gives a +3 mod in stealth in relation to Ettins.
And if all goes well, Eocho, something may happen to those most noble warriors. Just watch the path to the latrine very carefully.
While Thomas is having, Thomas is quite busy drawing one of the young Fulian maidens.
Ah, she takes your eye.
Yeah, and it looks like he's about to finish off now. So he comes over to join the 4 of you.
Will you be leaving with us, lad?
Well, it seems I will be, yes. At least tonight.
Oh, very good. Come on then, we best be off. I have plans for tonight, but I don't plan to stay in bed, that's for sure.
Yeah, and as you're speaking, you can hear Ashwood's arguing with one of his friends, the one who wears the gloves, because he wants to stay as well in the long haul. But you can quite clearly hear Ashwood shouting him down, telling him that it's not going to happen.
How long would it take me to get my amulet back, do you think?
You could go over to speak to the smith, and he would take you to his smithery. Yeah.
If I'm able to do that, I mean, whenever, that's fine.
Yeah. So you go over to him. His name, in fact, is Buri. And yeah, he takes you to his blacksmithery and gives you back the pendant. It does seem to be significantly better than before. Quite noticeable, in fact. So he seems to have done a very good job with this pendant.
I'll say, Uri, you've outdone yourself. I'm gonna tell everyone in Redonis and everyone in my tribe that they should come. They should definitely visit here at some point and give you more business. I think this is marvelous work. What a lovely evening. Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words, laddie. But take heed of my advice. Always start with the basic materials, and then work.
I will, and I only wish my father had such wise words for me. But I will remember them always. Thank you.
Good. Well, rest you well, laddie.
And so I'm holding it up, and all the light, any light that it's catching, it's just like so beautiful in my eyes. And I put it back on, and I head back to meet my group.
Good. So now you have to, one moment. Just tell me, what is your charisma?
The modifier or the total?
Well, in total.
So the value is 13, and then a +1, so +1 modifier.
Excellent. Your int?
My int is only 8, so it's a -1.
And your will?
14, and it's a +1.
Right. Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Yeah, good. So yeah, Ashwood is the only one remaining in the Great Hall now. Do the five of you wish to go to the dwellings being offered to you?
Is the dwellings within sight of the Great Hall? Can we watch the hall from there?
Potentially you could, yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're 200, 300, 400 feet away each one. They're all, fairly small stone houses with thatched roofs. But yeah.
And maybe we could act as if we were going to head back home, but then we could sneak down off some corner and apply this turpentine, and maybe we can be a little bit closer then to see what happens.
I like your thinking, brother. The god of shadow and stealth blesses you, even though you may not believe in him.
And Buri snorts rather loudly.
Yeah, well, it's around getting on for because it's almost, we're approaching nearly the midnight sun, in fact, not far off. So I'm going to say by about 11, that's when it's starting to get dark. It's still very clouded. The temperature has dropped to about 16 degrees, so it's still fairly warm. It's else in the village of Linden they've gone back to their dwellings with lots, a yurt or a house. Most of them are in fact stone houses with thatched roofs. It seems to be a common style in this particular part of Prithenio, using the stone from nearby mines and mountains. The May King and Queen, they go back to what is now considered their second dwelling, but of course they're not happy to sleep there because they want to sleep in their own long hall, but they're unable to. And leaving Ashwood in the Great Hall by himself. He's definitely feeling the effects now of what you put into the ale, kind of. He's in somewhat pain, stomach cramps and whatnot.
I say we liberally apply some turpentine and head back down towards the longhouse.
Yep, why not? I take out my turpentine and share it amongst all of us.
So I ask my uncle, I say, Uncle, if this will glow, that might give us away, right?
Perhaps you should keep it within your clothes and just gaze down upon it, and I trust your discernment to let us know when it starts to glow.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep, so the evening starts to turn into night time now. Still very clouded. Quite a silent night, in fact. Apart from the sound of some, of insects and occasional a hoot from an owl nearby in the distance. Probably near to the grove of Yrchs, in fact. By north.
I'll take that as a good sign. I had no watches tonight. We are in shadow.
Now, are you all in the dwellings now, or whereabouts are you?
Oh, I thought we were a bit closer to the long hall. I thought we'd sneak down some.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Perhaps we're in perhaps there's some stable nearby, closer, and
yeah. So you're just like on Overwatch, just trying to hide.
Yeah.
Good. So you're basically just gonna wait to see when Ettin approaches. Yeah.
Yep. And I keep checking if it's glowing or not, the amulet or not.
Yes. Good. So an hour passes, and absolutely nothing happens. No activity or sign of anything. Going past midnight now, and another hour passes, and still there's nothing. Are any of you feeling tired?
I'm not, but I'm going to say to my family, geez, I hope I didn't overestimate young Ashwood's constitution, given too many of the seeds.
Good. So, why don't you all give me a stamina check now, all of you?
What check, sorry?
Stamina.
Okay.
22 here.
18.
Yeah, I'm on 11.
20.
11.
Hold on.
You add your roll to your stamina points.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, of course. Sorry. So that makes it. Let me see. That makes it 22. Sorry.
All right. Perfect. Well, of the four of you, because Thomas is feeling fine. You, Owen, you're starting to feel a little bit tired, in fact. You feel like you would like to go back and get some sleep.
So I nudge my brother a little bit, and quietly I just say, I'm starting to feel really tired right now. Maybe all that food, maybe it didn't agree with me.
We gotta stick to the formation, brother. You think you can keep it together?
Of course, I'll try.
Perhaps you should get some rest, nephew. We can fetch you when the time is right.
May I leave the Ettin heart with one of you then?
That would be best.
Okay, so maybe if I just have a short nap and then I'll come meet you when I'm needed.
Pass me the amulet. I shall keep it safe until you return.
Please do, and look how nice the Uri crafted. Look how nice he crafted the amulet for me, the pendant.
Ah, indeed, indeed. Not that your own efforts were bad at all.
Can I rest here, or do I need to go back?
No, you could rest. You could crouch down and put your back to a wall,
Yeah.
and if you wish.
Yeah, that's what
It's
I'm
not
gonna do.
cold, so it's not. Now, Cynewulf, tell me, what is your int? Where's Merrin will?
It is 17 and 12. So +2 and a 0.
Very good, okay. That's all I need to know. Okay, so another hour passes, we're going on to about 2 o'clock in the morning now, and still no sign. Yeah, Owen is just kind of in and out of sleep at the moment now. I need to make a roll. He's actually having some rather nasty dreams, in fact. Okay. It's close. Right, anyway. Yeah, we're getting on to about 4 o'clock now, and it's quite dark, in fact. Not much light at all, as it's a very cloudy night. But yeah, if you all give me a perception check now.
Me as well, or no?
Yeah, yeah, you've woken up now. You've had a bit of a nap. You feel quite bad because you've had these terrible dreams.
Okay.
Only a 9.
11 over here.
I only got 4.
I got 8.
An 8, right? It is actually enough because you do hear something approaching the village. Seems quite heavy footsteps, and it actually climbs over the palisade. Not effective enough to keep it out, and it does approach the makings golden long hall. Seems to be going towards the entrance now.
My brother's asleep. I'm gonna nudge him awake.
Yes. Now, it seems that there is only one of these creatures coming towards the golden hall, and you do assume it to be an Ettin. That's what the making has told you.
I think it is our time to approach in shadow. I'm going to put my hood back up and hand the amulet back to my nephew.
Are we gonna kill it outright, or do we wound it and track it back to its lair?
That is a very good question.
They said there's 2 of them, but they only come one at a time.
And what's better than one dead Ettin? 2 dead Ettins. I think that is a good idea. We should, not that we can know when we will kill it, but we should harm it as much as possible and make it flee.
Works for me.
Maybe it will lead us to the nest.
Yeah.
The hive. Hopefully we will survive the hive. Hey, Thomas.
Well, that's what I hope so as well, yes. I would love to make an illustration of one of these queens.
I think we should approach now, lest our brave Ashwood be caught unawares and with his trousers down.
Yeah, this Ettin does actually go into the long hall. It's about 7 foot high. So it basically covers the whole entire frame of the door. Goes in. And you can just hear this laughter coming from the Ettin almost. As it does recognize that somebody is sleeping in the long hall, and it seems quite amused by it. So you can hear that wicked laughter coming from the Ettin.
Maybe we can try sneak in and get a better look.
Yes, if we're sneaking, I'm gonna knock a javelin in my tossing sling.
I'm going to knock an arrow as well. And so is there one entrance to the hole? Is it, traditional long hole? I can't hear you, Eddie.
No look.
Yep, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's sounding better now.
Yep, gotcha.
Oh, yeah, that's
Hey.
strange.
Awesome.
Okay, so yeah, the Ettin does go inside now. Whereabouts are the 5 of you?
So there's only one entrance to the hole, I presume, just the main?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Well, hopefully we're right near the entrance because we've been approaching.
Okay, I'm just going to make a check now.
Approaching stealthily.
Right, what happens is, basically, is the Ettin goes over towards where Ashwood is, he's actually fast asleep. Before any of you are able to do anything, the Ettin goes over to him and completely rips his head off.
Oh no. Whoops.
So Ashwood is now no more.
I was hoping he'd leave the hole and crap his pants, but oops.
Well, I think he did in a way.
Adnosh claims us all in time.
And maybe we should try to be very quiet. Presumably, we're in the long hall now.
Can't hear you, Eddie.
Shoot.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, this Ettin is starting to basically devour Ashwood as we speak.
Oh, if we're within range, I'm gonna look over to my uncle. If he gives me the sign, I'm firing.
I think no time like the present, and I'm gonna launch an arrow at him.
I'll chuck a spear or a javelin.
I'm going to stay at the entrance so as to not get in close range.
Yeah, how far is he about from us?
He's about, let's say, about 60 feet.
Okay, so that's my range. I think +1.
60 feet, did you say?
Yes, yeah.
Ooh, yeah. That's one off my range. I'm going to shoot at him anyways,
Mm-hmm.
Yep, very well.
seeing as we have the stealth advantage for now. Yeah, what do we got? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Oh, wait, no. 11. Sorry.
11. So you do hit, yeah, and this arrow goes to the lower part of its left leg. Let's give me roll for damage.
Oh, it's been so long. D6 plus strength. Yep, 3.
3. So yeah, it takes no damage.
Eddie, I rolled a 13 when I threw the spear or the javelin.
So yeah, you also get a hit. So if you roll for damage,
Alrighty. That's 9.
9. Nice.
D8 +1.
Very nice. So you do quite a bit of damage. Yeah, that's a good hit. Yep. If you roll, give me a roll for cut and shock.
Almost forgot about those. It's +2 -2. Alright, so. Oh wait, no, that's for melee. There it is. -1 +1. So cut is 5 on cut. And 11 on shock.
Yeah. So it's bleeding, but no shock effect. I forgot to do morale check with my whole microphone thing not working. So yeah, if you give me a morale check, all of you, please, with a -2 to this.
Do me and Buri get a little plus from having the mead earlier, or was that only the mead from the making way back?
Yeah, that was only the special mead.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So that's a 9 for me, including the -2.
A 9. So you are fine.
I'm at 7. That might affect my throw.
I got an 8.
So the two of you are nervous for 6 rounds.
Ugh.
So you get -1s to your rolls.
Would the 12 have hit?
Yeah, it would have been the same, in fact. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, this javelin hits the ogre in the back of his leg, and he immediately stops doing what he's doing to pour Ashwood, and turns around to face you, the 4 of you. Doesn't see Thomas because he's outside, and roars in laughter. He thinks he's going to get more food tonight.
And does he still see Cynewulf?
Yes, he does.
Yeah,
he
you can
does.
see everyone. Okay.
Yes. With his troll nose and Ettin eyes, he's successful.
He's good.
Yep.
Okay.
What do you wish to do now?
I'm just gonna go for it. So Buri picks up his axe and he says, "Well, it's time to show the spirits what this mountain man is made of." And he just picks up his axe and runs in within attacking distance. And I'd like to. I don't know if it's possible for me to charge. I'm not a warrior, but I'd like to try attack anyway.
Well, you're about 60 feet away.
Okay. Well, maybe I can spend my round to get maybe 10 foot closer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your tempos wouldn't get you there.
No.
Not in walking distance, anyway. But
well, I start approaching.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, and for Owen and Eocho?
I would say form up, brother, and get ready to charge. And so we'll approach within
Yep.
charging distance.
Yep, sounds good.
Okay, and I suppose Cynewulf will maybe move forward a little bit to get more range, but okay. So the Ogre is going to walk over towards the four of you now. In fact, Thomas is kind of skulking around by the doorway. It seems like he's trying to memorize this scene for one of his drawings. Doesn't seem too keen to get into the action anyway. So why don't you give me all initiative? I think David's got 12.
That's 1d6, yeah?
Yeah, plus your
Plus
dex mod and any mod for weapons which you might have.
Yeah, and size as well.
Plus your size, yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
I got a
6.
6.
I got an 8.
An 8, yeah. Good. Owen?
Oh wait, so
But I mean, are you going to charge?
well, I'm wondering if we're in distance yet to charge.
Yeah, for the next round, you're both in range now to charge.
Oh, okay. So if we can, then my total would be a 9 then.
Okay, yeah. Good. Eocho?
8.
An 8. Okay, so I will allow Owen to strike first.
Okay, so charge with my spear. What is it for the charge? It's a +2 or?
Yeah, so you get a +2 to your OV.
Okay, so 12, and then I still have the -1 for being nervous, right? So
Correct,
11.
11.
Mhm.
So you charge in, you raise your arm back to thrust at this horrible ogre who seems to be mocking you. And it's actually rather quick despite its size, and it just manages to dodge out of the arm's range of your weapon.
Okay.
Over to your brother, over to Eocho.
Alright, I'm following
Yep.
up right behind him, but I'm charging with my axe in hand. My javelins aren't so good up close. And it's
Okay.
+2 -1. One sec. That's 15 total.
Yep, so you hit. That's a normal hit, so give me a roll for damage, and you get an extra d4.
Alrighty. D8, D4. So that's 10 total.
Very nice.
Oh,
yep, give me cut with a -3 plus whatever for your weapon.
Charge was 2, right? 2 stamina?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Cut is +0, -0, so cut is 6.
Mm-hmm.
And shock is 10.
Yep, so it gets another light. It gets a light bleeding wound, but it's not shocked. So yeah. Okay, good. Now, this ogre with its kind of puts its claws together. It sounds like iron crushing against iron. It kind of looks at the three of you, and instantly it's going to strike out at one of you now, and it will be. So that'll be Eocho. So as Ettin comes in for you, strikes, you get a -1 to your melee DV because of the charge.
And okay, and do I get -1 for my nervousness as well?
Um,
I thought that was only in relation to attack.
yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Yeah, so
And we're in formation too.
So would that be cumulative +1?
does 15 hit you?
15 hits me exactly.
So it's a near miss. Okay. 2 points of damage unless you've got a AV.
I have 1 AV, so 1.
So you lose 1 hit point. Okay. You don't take any bleeding wounds, so you're not cut. But you are stunned.
I knew it.
So you cannot attack next round, I'm afraid.
Okay.
We'll go over to David now.
Sorry about that. Can we assume that I approached to within the...
Yeah,
range of my
I moved you a bit more, yeah.
I'm going to shoot at it. 13.
Yes, 13 hits. Yep, give me damage +1.
4.
Yep, so you do a little bit of damage, not much, but give me cut and shock. Be cut -2, and shock will be +6.
5 and a lot.
Yeah. Okay, good. So over to you, Buri.
Yeah, so Buri just starts screaming incoherently, just shouting anything, and he's going to try go for I believe it was the right leg of the beast that we attacked earlier.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try go for that to see if I can cause it some form of damage. Let's see. Come on. Oh, 8. Sorry, 10, including the +2 for.
No, it's not enough, I'm afraid.
Yeah, miss.
Yep. So you miss. So I'm just going to roll now for random item damage. No, you're all okay.
Okay.
Next round. So back to David again.
Alright, it's muted. Shooting again.
Yep.
15.
15 hits. So this is a rather good hit. Damage +1.
3 again.
Yeah, no impact, I'm afraid. Now goes the Ettin. This time it goes for Eocho once more, who is stunned.
They'll give me -4.
So you get a -2 to your
Okay, -2.
to your defense.
Oh.
Well, it fumbles, so the Ettin fumbles.
It drops its heart. It just drops its heart.
Eyelash Vidanash.
4 in a dice, so you're very lucky. Let's see what happens. 17, so it's just a miss. Swipes out. Almost clumsily falls over in the afterwards. So you quite lucky there. You breathe a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Over to Owen.
Okay, I'm gonna hit him with my spear. 17.
That's a rather good hit. Damage +1.
Okay. D8 +1. Wait, oops. I rolled the wrong one. Okay. All I got was 2. 2.
Again, so you thrust at the abdomen of this ogre, and it's not enough. You're not enough force in your arm to penetrate.
Yeah, I'm frustrated. Okay.
Yeah, it turns to you and almost smiles mockingly, thinking that it's next time it's coming for you. Now, over to Buri.
Yeah, and I'm just going to try lash out again as rapidly as I can. Just going to try to get this knee damaged or something. That is 14.
That's a hit. If you roll for damage.
Yeah, so that's a D10. And that is 10.
Very nice. So you do quite a bit of damage, and it howls out in pain. And
Yes.
give me cut and shock. So cut will be with a -3. Shock will be +1.
Okay. That is 6 for cut.
It's another light bleeding.
And -1 you said for shock.
+1.
Oh, sorry, +1. Okay, so that's 8.
An 8. So it's stunned.
Whoa. That was a good hit.
It was a very good hit, yeah. I mean, I'm still not 100% sure if these Ettins do bleed and take shock damage, but I have to read it up, but let's assume that they do for this fight anyway. Right, over to David. Well, I think he's away, so we'll...
Well, this Ettin has a name, so it probably does bleed and gets shocked. You know.
Well, it's over to you, in fact, Owen.
Okay.
So you can make an attack if you wish.
Yep. I'm going to attack. I got 13.
13 hits. That's a... that is a rather good hit. Damage +1.
Okay. 8.
Yep, that's good.
All right. Yeah.
Give me shock. Sorry, a cut and shock.
Okay.
So the cut will be -5, and the shock will be
Okay.
-1. No, +1.
9 for cut. 11 for shock, so nothing for shock.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
Right, over to David.
Losing another arrow. Hey, was that 19?
Wow, shit.
Whoa.
That's basically a perfect hit, David, yeah.
Almost my maximum possible.
You've just gone into, full out Legolas mode now. You've
Doing a flip.
Yeah, you could just describe how you kill the Ogre, in fact.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, seeing as I remembered the weak spot of the previous Ogre, I'm going to aim for its eye again. But I'm not actually trying to kill it, because I'm trying to wound it, and so we can follow it back. But I'll let loose and drop it straight through its eye and be like, oh, whoops, as it topples over.
You're both getting a name after this.
As you hit it in the eye, it kind of staggers backwards several feet and then crashes down and actually lands on poor Ashwood. And you just hear the crunching noise of bones breaking.
Buri turns to Cynewulf and says, well, that still only counts as one.
I'll pat my bow and say, perhaps Ogre's Bane, Ettin's Bane is appropriate. I'm sorry, nephew. I meant to allow you to track it back to its lair.
You should name it Ashwood, maybe.
Failing the tracking, its kin might show up tomorrow night, so we always have that to look forward to.
Perhaps we should hang this carcass somewhere, make a mockery of it, so the mother can not help but come.
Yes. Maybe we could find a war drum and start beating the war drum in the long hall with the dead corpse of the Ettin.
And perhaps it would be appropriate that we say poor Ashwood here met a more nobler death than he actually did.
Well, that depends what Thomas is going to draw, I guess.
Oh my god.
It's all up to Thomas.
If he comes back as a wraith, like, we are so fucked.
Presuming he knew what I did. Technically, only you should have known if you'd seen me do it.
Yes.
I'm going to give you like a...
Excellent, good. Well, I think this is going to be a probably a good point to stop now.
Yep.
Because we've been 3 hours in now, and it's kind of what I said about 3-hour session would be good. And
yep.
Next time, yeah, you guys can decide whether you're going to track the Ettin or perhaps wait for another night to see what happens.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I say we take out the mead and carry on drinking till tomorrow night.
Good thing I got it.
Good. So so for anybody who's watching now, thank you for watching. Sorry if I had problems with the mic. Going to order a proper mic to make things better. And yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks to carry on. So thank you for taking part, guys, and to everybody watching. Wishing you a good evening wherever you are.
Thanks, Eddie. Some great myth mastering.
Yeah, thanks.
And great playing by you guys. Thanks.